Hello guys and welcome back to SRL Racing League. Today we are here for a Rallycross event in Norway at Långebanen, or as it's known in English, Hell. So today we're gonna have two groups of drivers competing against each other. The first group, which is just about to start, is going to be Dion, Robin, Reese, Sandro and Funs, who is coming back to do SRL racing. But we're just waiting for the first group to be set up so we can begin this little fun experiment. And I'm going to be your commentator today. I am Samuel Brandt. So let's hope that it's going to be fun. As we can see Funs van Houten on pole position, Dion Stahl and Sandro Dulis starting alongside him. Then we have Robin Herstadhagen and Reese March just behind him. And it is... away we go, and Dion gets a perfect start. And yeah, Funs not really good, as there is already chaos. Oh no! Funs has already messed that up very badly, and it looks like some of the people have already taken their Joker lap, or am I wrong? Okay, Sandro has taken his Joker lap, it seems. So we're watching Reese, he has hit the guardrail, oh no, and he has collided with Funs, I think that is. Sandro is just behind them, the only driver to take his Joker lap so far, but it's Robin in the lead, who is on home turf for the very first time in SRL, as we are in Norway and he is Norwegian. And look at the Citroen there, beautiful control from the Norwegian, as he has gapped Dion Stahl quite significantly, as Robin has completed his Joker lap and retains the lead. So unless he makes any mistakes, he is sat comfortably in P1, as we have Funs making a move to second place on Sandro. And he has also taken his Joker lap, and we have Dion in third place. So I should say that this is not a final race, this is a group race, and the top two will advance to the final. So currently Robin and Funs are the ones making it through to the final, but the three others will have a chance to make it to the final via a second race, which is coming up later today. As you can see, Funs in that destroyed Honda, he crashed on lap 1. Oh, and he makes another mistake there. Crashes into a light post, I think that is. He's down to last, having trouble turning it around. So currently it's Dion and Robin going through to the final. We are on lap 3 out of 10, but we have more coming up later today as well. So this is the first group race, and Dion hasn't taken his Joker lap yet, as you can see. So he's going to have to do that at some point while we watch him here. I think, no, he hasn't done his Joker yet. Sandro is in hot pursuit of Reese March. And, as they have done their Joker laps, they don't have to do it again. And Sandro in a bit of a trouble there, controlling his, I think that's a Ford Focus, if I'm not mistaken. And Reese in the Volkswagen, a green Volkswagen, looking very much to maybe secure second place if Dion doesn't get his Joker lap in perfect, as he does his Joker lap now. So let's follow this. Beautiful drift there, and Dion comes out in second place, so he is safe from Reese March. So, I say that, but he has made a mistake there. And I don't think it cost him anything, as Reese is just past the Joker lap now. So I think it's going to be a comfortable victory from Robin, but saying that we have 5 laps left, so anything could happen still. But every driver have done their Joker laps, so This is a race to the finish. So we are following Dion Stahl here. So let's see. He is making a little bit of inroads on Robin Herstadhagen, as Scanny wants an explanation on why he wasn't drafted in, and it is, in case you don't know what I mean, it is because we had a wildcard driver who was set to join, but unfortunately enough of the full-time drivers could show up, so it would make an uneven amount of drivers. So unfortunately we had to say that it is not going to be today, Scanning, maybe next time, but you just have to hang on and maybe we'll give you another chance. Neek says sup. Hello Neek. And Yannick, yeah, unfortunately we didn't know you were interested in joining, as there is someone around there. I think that is Sandro, indeed. So he has made a mess of that, and he has retired. So he's definitely going into the losers final today. And yeah, Scanny, we are sorry, but we just didn't have enough time, and we will try to do better in the future, obviously, as it is probably not the best way to do things. But it is a close fight here out in the front, or close in the... There is 1.6 seconds between the leader and second place, but at the moment it doesn't make any difference. You just need to qualify for the next round, and it seems like Robin and Dion are well on their way to do that. Yeah, as Kamikaze Fox perfectly describes in the comment section, this is Heat 1. There's going to be a Heat 2 after this with 5 other drivers, and then top 2 from those 2 heats will progress into the final. We'll have a shootout race between the 6 losers, the 3 losers from each race, and then top 2 of them that race will also progress into the final. So we are going to have a mishmash of drivers at the end. But this is turning out to be a quite exciting race here in Hell, as Robin is under pressure from Dion, it seems. But if he is smart, he doesn't fight the Dutchman here, and he just lets him go. So let's see. And Dion, he's very drift happy today. As we can see, Dutchman there sliding his rear end out on his Volkswagen as he comes in very hot. And he is definitely enjoying himself here. Let's see what Dion can do on Robin, but doesn't seem like there is anything he can do. As there is 5/10 between these two currently. Look at that. Dion, perfect control. As the race is now over, Robin Herstadhagen and Dion Stahl will progress into the final. Reese March in his green Volkswagen, I believe it is, and Funs van Houten and Sandro Dulles will be put into the shootout race, as Reese tops it off with a spin in the air, and here comes Funs. So let's see what happens, as the first heat is now over. So your 2 drivers progressing through to the final is Robin Herstadhagen and Dion Stahl for now. But let's see what happens in the second race, which is going to be coming up very shortly. And the drivers we are going to have in that race are going to be Vasilios Belistiotis, Lance LeBron, who usually does commentary on Formula 1, Luke, who is a new driver in SRL, so he's going to be making his first appearance in SRL today, Tim Venting, you all know and love him, and Jure Marusic. So we're going to be back shortly. So now we are back, and we have the other 5 drivers who are going to compete in Heat 2. They have now joined the session. It's the same track, but yeah, we're going to be underway shortly, hopefully. But we are now underway, and as I said, drivers in this heat will be Vasilios Belistiotis, who races in Formula 1 on a regular basis, Lance LeBron, who usually commentates on Formula 1, Luke, who's a new driver in Formula 1, Tim Venting, you know I love him from Formula 1, races for Renault, and Jure Marusic, we haven't seen much of him this season, but he is a Red Bull driver on an everyday basis. So those are the 5 drivers we're going to have today. And the 2 drivers who went into the final was, of course, Robin and Dion Stahl. So we're going to have them compete later on, as you can see here. So we are currently watching Lance LeBron, Tim Venting, Jure Marusic, and Luke Machiesen. So we are waiting for the race start. He's going to come here now. And we are underway. Tim Venting gets a brilliant start. He jumps Fox, but Jure has got the better of him as Jure heads for his joker lap on lap 1, as well as Lance. He was the only one not to take the joker lap. Tim, Luke, and Jure took their joker laps. As Tim gets wide there, and there's a crash from Jure Marusic. Luke made it through unscathed, but let's see how these drivers can do. All of them are Dutch drivers, in case you didn't know, and Lance, obviously, our beloved American. But let's see how things do. Unfortunately, Vasilios is not in this race, but he is going to be in the shoot-off race between the 6 drivers, so hopefully he makes it through there. As Tim has made a mistake there. I think he forgot that he took his joker lap on lap 1, and Lance has mucked them all up here, as he has taken his joker lap now. But Tim forgot that he took his joker lap on lap 1 and lost valuable time to Lance. But all drivers, I believe, now have taken their joker laps. So it's a sprint to the end, and currently... Oh, Lance makes a mistake there, as Tim sends it down the inside, takes the lead. Lance is now battling with Luke. So let's see how that goes. Jure Marusic has not exactly been left behind, but we're going to have to wait and see how this goes. As Lance is defending quite hefty from Luke. He makes a tiny mistake there. As they come together, oh, what's this going to end up? Oh, Luke has lost his front bumper, and here comes Jure Marusic. Oh no! And the 2 Dutch drivers run into each other, losing their front bumpers in the process. But Lance making it through relatively unscathed. His front bumper having a little bit of a dent on that Honda, but it doesn't really matter, does it? But commanding lead right now from Tim Venting in the Volkswagen. But it could change if Lance catches up. Here we have Mr. Marusic. He makes a mistake, runs into I think that's a barrier or something, and Luke sneaks past him. So difficult conditions here in Norway for the drivers. As we can see, you're having some trouble with traction, it seems. And not as tail happy as his Dutch fellow driver Dion Stahl we saw in the first race, kicking the rear end out on his car every corner as he tried to hunt down Robin Herstadhagen. I might regret saying that, as we see Jure Marusic making a beautiful drift there. That was 10 out of 10 from me, to say the very least. But as we can see in the top left corner, Tim Venting kind of running away with it right now. It's thereabouts of 2 seconds as Jura makes another mistake, runs very wide there, cuts the corner, doesn't really matter. But yeah, he is quite far behind right now, and he is for sure going to go into the shoot-off race as Lance is getting left behind by Tim. Sorry, the gap is constantly around 2 to 3 seconds. He's lost some time, but he is regaining it every time he comes out of the corner, and Tim goes into the next corner. And as Luke makes a mistake now, he has done what Jura did 2 laps ago, I think, run into the barrier, and yeah, these two are for sure gonna have to go through the second shootout race. But good racing so far. And we haven't really touched upon Luke. He is a new driver as he taps the barrier there, but he's going to be racing for Rocket Williams Racing. As he, oh my goodness, he is absolutely punted Jura there up the rear, and you would think that Jura is going to take revenge in the next corner. If he, oh, what has he done? He has made a mess of that. Oh no. But as I said, Luke racing for Rocket Williams in SRL after the Christmas break. And he's going to be joined by Sam Lissenburg, who is also a Dutch driver we brought in. And it's going to be interesting to see how they do as Jura kicks out the rear end on his car. Beautiful drift. And yeah, these two are going to go into second race, obviously, and not as good as the first one there, Jura, I'll have to give you that, but everything can happen as it is right now. As Gaming 10701 says hello, and we say hello to you too as well. Nice to have you. Hope you're enjoying the race. So we see Jura coming in hot. And is he going to make it? Kicks there. That's a beautiful drift. That's Ken Block style right there. Very nice. We are on lap 8, or should we say that Tim Venting is on lap 9. He's not really been challenged so far this race, as Lance LeBron has been losing time since he got past the 2 Dutch drivers behind him, but I've been there and about. They're just within striking distance if anything goes wrong for Tim. But as a jump starts the final lap for Tim Venting, the Volkswagen, and he's not really been challenged today, should we say it that way. Lance as well, not really been challenged today as well. Very aggressive on his driving. You can see from the American driver here. Jura has got past Luke again. These two are battling furiously as they are on their last lap as well. And, oh, they bang tires. Who can hold on? It doesn't really matter because Tim Venting has won. Lance LeBron comes across as a second place finisher, so they progress to the final without any trouble. Jura Marusic and Luke Machaisen is gonna have to go into the shootout race in order to make it through. But who is gonna finish ahead as they barge their way through each other? But I think it's gonna be Luke. No, is it gonna be Jura? No, it is Luke in third place. Jura Marusic in fourth, and Vasilios Belistiotis never got to race, but he is also into the shootout race. So a really, really fun and exciting Heat 2. The final shootout race is coming up, and it is going to contain Vasilios Belistiotis, Luke Machiesen, Jura Marusic, Rees March, Sandro Dulis, and Funs van Houten. So, and then we're going to decide who's going to be the last 2 drivers in the final. And just to recap really quickly, the 4 drivers that have made it into the final so far are Dion Stahl, Robin Herstadhagen, Tim Venting and Lance LeBron. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see who is going to take those 2 last positions. But yeah, we're going to prepare for the shootout race, and then we're going to be right back. And just before we go, hello to you as well, Captain Morgan. So we'll be back when the shootout race is underway. So we apologize for the waiting time because there is some technical difficulties, but there has been a change of plans. This race is only going to promote 1 driver into the final, as there is a maximum of 6 people into a Rallycross lobby. So unfortunately we're going to have to say that only 1 person can qualify from this race instead of 2. Thanks for your patience, and we'll come back as soon as we're ready. Okay, so it has been determined that Vasilios Balestiotis is not going to take part in this race, unfortunately. We didn't really foresee this for some reason. It just didn't work. But, yeah. We're going to have 5 drivers in this race. Winner is going to progress to the final. So this race, for the first time this evening, it's going to be all or nothing. Winner takes all. The rest of them, they don't progress. So currently we have Dion, Robin, Lance and Tim in the final, and we are going to determine who's going to be the last driver to join them in that shootout to be the Rallycross champion of today's Norwegian Grand Prix. So, as you can see, Sandro Dooley is on pole position. It's going to be Luke behind him, Reese March, Jura Marusic and Funs van Houten. And we're going to follow Sandro on the start here. It's going to be 3 red lights and we are underway. And Luke, Jura gets the jump on both of them, starting on the outside, and he jumps straight into the Joker lap. Everyone does, oh no, that's Sandro. He gets turned around by Jura, and Funs takes the lead now. Ahead of Jura, then we have Luke. Sandro is leading a Reese March out of the Joker lap, and I think everyone got their Joker lap done on the first lap. But it is Funs who is leading this race. He is followed by Luke, who is closely followed by Jura, and in Heat 2 we had a brilliant battle between those two, so maybe we're going to have part 2 of that here. Sandro getting turned around by Jura into the Joker lap, unfortunately, and then we have Reese, who seems to have some trouble with his car for some reason, but he is running last right now. So, starting lap 2, it is Funs van Houten leading the pack. As here we go, just as I predicted, Luke and Jura. It's going to be round 2 of those two having a big scrap. Luke is in front at the moment, and Jura needs to watch his back because Sandro is right on his tail. And Funs can't be too secure as well, as he has his fellow countryman Luke Mathiasen behind him. So here we go, we have a 4-way battle for the lead, as there is only 1.5 seconds-ish to the leader from 4th place. As Luke makes a move for the lead, does he stick it? Funs keeps his foot in there, keeps it in front, but is it going to be enough for the next corner? He runs wide, but is he going to get the drive on the outside? He is. He's going to defend for now, but let's see what he can do later on as he runs a little bit wide there. Oh no, Luke takes the position, but hasn't quite lost Funs yet. As we head on to lap 4. Luke Mathiesen, in his debut on SRL, is leading and looking to become the sole driver. Oh, and there is Fons van Hooven into the barrier, and Sandro runs a little bit wide there, but you would suspect there's going to be some damage on that car now. Don't exactly know, but it is Luke who leads the pack, as Reese has made his way up into 4th now, as Jura has made some sort of mistake and he's done it again. He's lost his rear bumper, he's crashed into a barrier, and he is, oh no, he's made a mess of that. He grinds the wall. Oh, is it going to end badly for all? He cuts the track, and for sure he's going to be dead last. As Luke is starting to distance Sandro Dulis, who is battling with Fons van Hooven, coming back after he announced that he was going to be a reserve driver for Mercedes AMG Petronas. But what is going to happen here? It's going to be exciting nevertheless. Sandro, he keeps the position, but he needs to catch Luke. So maybe they should start working together, these two. Sandro clears the jump. We are on lap 6 out of 10, so they don't have a lot of time until they need to get that move done. But it's looking unlikely. It looks like it's going to be Luke Mathiesen who's going to take that final spot in the grand finale. And it's going to be good to see him in the final, that's for sure, but we would have hoped for more of a battle for this race, unfortunately. As, oh no! Fons van Hooven runs into the side of Sandro, as Sandro got a little bit sideways coming over the crest of that jump that is on the start-finish straight of Lankebanen here in Norway. But it's a fierce battle between these two, and quite ironic that they used to be Ferrari and Mercedes drivers respectively, so in Formula 1 they were battling as well for the championship, and Sandro makes a mistake. He cuts, I think he clips the barrier on the entry and gets stuck sideways, and Fons runs into the side of him. But Luke out on his 8th lap, 8 out of 10. And, it's looking unlikely that anyone is going to challenge him, as Fons has made a move past Sandro, and Sandro must have made a mistake. So we now see Reese. I think that is behind Sandro, coming to see if he can spoil Sandro's podium hopes. And anyway, regardless of who makes it through to the final, it's still fun to see if you can beat the other drivers on the snow. But penultimate lap for Luke Mathiesen. So it's going to be interesting to say the very least. Taking it cautious now. He has almost 10 seconds worth down to second place. Fons, sorry. Oh, and there goes Sandro's rear bumper. Fons runs into the side of him, and these two have had a scrap always long. But as Luke Mathiesen has started his final lap, as these two continue to bump each other left, right and centre. It's for sure an exciting battle, but it's not necessarily one that's going to suit them anything. As, oh no, here we go, Sandro has gone sideways. He's run into a Monster Energy sign, and he is, I don't know if he's turned it around, and Reese is not taking advantage, but we're going to follow Luke Mathiesen as he comes around. I think this is the final corner. It is. And he's going to take victory in the shootout race, and he's going to be the only driver progressing through to the final. So, and I've just noticed that Rhys March has not taken his Joker lap for some reason. I think he's on his last lap, so he can't take the Joker lap. He's going to be disqualified from the race. He's going to finish dead last. So, but it is going to be Luke Mathiasen taking that final spot in the final. And it's for sure going to be an exciting race. So just to recap, Luke being the only one going through to the final, and he's going to be accompanied by Dion Stahl, Robin Herstadhagen, Lance LeBron and Tim Venting. So we're going to have one crazy final on our hand, and it's coming up very shortly. Yeah, and Edri says, yes, Robin is my good friend. I sincerely hope so, because it seems like you, are cheering him on. So, if you are watching this back at some time, Robin, you have a supporter. But it is going to be a restart. The order of the starting cast is going to be a little bit different. It's going to be Tim Venting, Lance LeBron and Mr. Robin Herstadhagen on the front row. Then it's Dion and Luke Mathiasen on the second row. But it is go, 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 and Lance is running side by side. They are running side by side into turn one. Tim goes straight for the Joker lap, and I think he's the only one. No, he isn't. There is someone else. And it is Lance. He has gone for the Joker lap. So Robin is leading right now, followed by Dion. Then it is Luke Mathiasen, Tim Venting, and Lance LeBron. But the two last guys have taken their Joker lap, as Robin and Dion are rubbing doors right now. So let's see how this pans out, as Luke goes for the outside on Herstadhagen. He punts him there. You have to question the way that Luke goes about his driving, but it can be left for some other day. And I think Luke has gone for, he has gone for the Joker lap. So only Robin and Dion have not taken their Joker lap yet. And Robin runs very wide there. He is pursued. No, wait, that was. There's been a shake of orders. So Tim is now currently second. Dion Stahl is leading. Robin is in fourth. Sorry. Dion and Robin haven't taken their Joker laps yet. And Lance, who for some reason has not been noted for a Joker lap, which is quite strange. But let's see. So seems like only two people have taken their Joker laps, as Lance has made a mistake there, coming over the crest for the first corner. But Robin has now taken his Joker lap, as he is followed by Lance, and it is Dion who is leading, but he is closely followed by Tim Venting in that Volkswagen. Luke Mathiasen is also pursuing those two. Then we have Robin and Lance having a little bit of a battle here. It seems like they are prepared to run very close together, as Dion has taken his Joker lap. So everyone except Lance has completed their Joker lap. It is now a run to the end, as we see the two, I think it is the two Volkswagens piloted by the two Dutch people out in front. And Tim is showing great skill with this Rallycross car. It's only 15 laps this race, but doesn't matter. And we now have Luke and was that Robin behind him? No, it wasn't. So Robin and Lance are still paddling away as Lance makes a mistake coming over the crest into turn 1, rubs the wall there. We have race leader Tim Benting, 10 laps to go, and you would say it has been enjoyable so far. Not necessarily clean, but Rallycross has never been known for being a clean sport. So let's see how this goes. Luke Mathiasen has not been so profitable in this race as he was in the previous one. He's now sitting in P3, so we have something for Dion. Is he catching Tim? So, but look at that. Oh, he makes a mistake. Doesn't quite get that Scandinavian flick correct, and he has now lost even more time to the driver in P1, Tim Benting. But everything can happen over the course of 15 laps. So let's see how things pan out. Lance running in last place right now. He's making mistakes that we didn't see him make in that first race that he competed in. So it's been very annoying for him, you must say, that he has not been able to find the pace of Heat 2, I believe it was, that he was a part of. But you have to hope for something out in front if you are him. Same goes for Mr. Herstadhagen, who is on home turf, but has not been able to profit from it. And just like Lance, he hasn't really shown the pace that he held in his heat race. Look at Dion, he is running across corners, it seems. That's a beautiful little drift there. And see what happens, but as it looks right now, Tim Benting has this one in the back, but anything can change, that is for sure. And we are obviously going to have interviews afterwards, in case you don't know, but we are going to have some interviews with some of the drivers afterwards, but we have to wait and see what happens. First of all, we can't make predictions as I hear a big clank, and that is Dion absolutely spitting fire from his exhaust as he is trying to hunt down Tim Benting. It looks like he has stabilized the gap, but he needs to close the gap. And Luke Mathiasen hasn't been able to find the pace of his qualification run that he did in the third heat. So it's really unfortunate, to say the very least. And Eteri is asking if we are gonna interview der große Mr. Robin HX von, what does that say, Hardeland. And I can assure you we will be interviewing Mr. Robin Herstadhagen, as it is his home Grand Prix, the first one that he's ever chance that he has had to race on home ground. But we'll see what happens. So we are now spectating the Volkswagen of Luke Mathiasen, but not really anything happening right now. The closest battle that we currently have is actually the gap between, just checking, it seems like it is the gap between Dion Stahl and Tim Benting, but it could also be the gap, I think it's the gap between Dion and Mathiasen. But as that proves, it's not really sprouting with battles this race. It was yeah, one, you want to say, on lap 1. It was the first 2 laps, and then once the field got spread out, it turned into what it is now, as we just saw there. Perfect Scandinavian flick from Lance LeBron. 10 out of 10. Mika Häkkinen would be very proud, as he does it twice there. I wonder if he's trying to show her off a little bit, as he had been closing down the gap to Herstadhagen. But let's see what the American do. Another perfect drift there from LeBron. He has been closing down that gap to Herstadhagen. It was 10 seconds. He's now got it down to around 7 seconds. So it is coming to him. If he can close down the Norwegian. I think at this point, Robin is probably just running to see if he can pick up some pieces if the guys in front eventually do catch up to each other and make a mess of it. Catch Dion in a jump there. And there's been a mistake there from Mathiasen. Could that put Robin into a contention for P3? Let's wait and see. These two ran together in the first heat. Or, well, you won't say in the heat we had to restart, the final that we had to restart, and it didn't end well. So let's see if the Norwegian and the Dutchman can get better away from it this time. But hopefully we won't see any more panels flying anywhere. Tires needs to be kept on in order to finish. But it looks like Robin has closed down the Volkswagen of Mathiasen. So we'll have to wait and see. He's coming closer. He is coming really close right now. It is about 3 seconds right now, and we can hear Lance screeching in the background as he wants to let us know that he is there as well. But it is the last lap, and we are gonna quickly jump to Tim Venting as he comes out of the final corner, and he is gonna take victory here in hell at the Norwegian Rallycross Grand Prix. And we are gonna cut straight back to Luke Mathiasen, Robin Herstadhagen, and Lance has lost touch with them. But is it going to be anything? He needs to lunge him if he needs to make anything off. He does make a mistake there. Just needs to hope for Luke to make a mistake, but he doesn't do it. Luke Mathiasen finishes an honourable P3. Robin Herstadhagen comes home P4, and Lance LeBron, qualified from Heat 1, didn't quite make it. But that has been your final. So it is Tim Venting taking victory, 1.3 seconds in the end to Dion Stahl. Then it is 27 seconds down to Luke Mathiasen. Robin Herstadhagen is the last driver to finish, and then it is Lance LeBron who is credited with a DNF. But we're going to see if we can get some interviews going, so we'll be right back. Okay, so we are just waiting for Tim Venting to share his audio, as you supposedly can't hear him right now, and that is not very good in order to make an interview.
It's on. So,
Tim Venting, you won the race, Rallycross champion of SRL. Was it fun, first of all?
Yes,
let's say that.
Yes. It was so much fun.
And I suppose
driving with each other.
And I suppose it's something different, very different to Formula 1, which is the only thing you've done so far in SRL.
No, I've done the IndyCar.
You've done IndyCar, that's true, but it's kind of the same, isn't it? So to do this, was it something different, do you think? Do you think it was a fresh breath of air? Was
definitely, yeah.
And would you do it again if we decided to do it?
Yeah, definitely.
So you won by 1.3 seconds in the end to your countryman Dion Stahl.
Yeah, I crashed the final lap.
Okay. I was wondering why your lead dropped so drastically, but
yeah.
I suppose you just told us there. One final thing, though, is you've won this now.
Yeah.
Does that mean we can expect a Formula 1 championship coming to a Renault driver as well in the future? Or is this not the story of Formula 1, and is it just Tim Benting showing his absolute mad drifting skills in the snow?
Well, there's definitely going to be a championship in F1 for me, but I don't know in the Renault. This season is very hard with Lewis and Vasilios.
And obviously also we are heading on to Christmas break now, but coming back from Christmas break, IMSA is going to find his way into SRL as well. You are currently sitting, as I remember, in one of the prototype cars in the top tier of that series. What is your mind going into that series, and how do you plan on tackling it? Because I'm just trying to find here, because I believe you have a very, very strong teammate and also some very strong drivers around you that is going to be competing in the same, what do you want to see, series. As I can see here, you are racing for high-class racing, and you have Vasilios Belestiotis as your teammate. And if that wasn't hard enough, Konica Minolta has Sandra Doolis and Cameron Weston Edwards. Both drivers are very capable of good finishes in Formula 1. We don't know if it's going to be the same in IMSA, but those three drivers, do you think you have the capability of taking the fight of a championship to those three?
I'm not 100% sure of that, because I've actually never done a real race in the WEC car. Or IMSA, I mean IMSA. And I don't even know how the car feels, so
it's very unsure going into this series for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we mentioned Vasilios, he's going to be your teammate. Do you think you can get a partnership working there?
Yes, definitely. The last race in F1, we were working together the whole time. But then Renee took me out, so yeah.
So you guys you seem to work together pretty well, it seems.
Yeah.
Are you afraid that Konica Minolta Cadillac with Cameron and Sandro can be a challenge, or do you think it's going to be? Do you think it's going to be easy, like a walkover for you two?
No. They're both quick guys.
Okay.
So it will be very hard.
And you originally, obviously, you signed for the GT class, but then a seat freed up in the LMP class, and you weren't slow to get that seat. Let's say it that way. But do you regret moving to the prototype class instead of GT class, or do you think it's the right thing to do?
Yeah, it was definitely the right thing to do, because I have a nice teammate and nice people to battle with.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So, we're going to quickly see if Dion is still in this party. It seems he is. We're going to see if we can squeeze an interview out of him real quick. And here we have him. Dion. So, you finished second.
Yeah,
but
indeed.
It wasn't far away from a victory when Tim decided to, for some reason, bottle it on the last corner. Did you think it was possible to get that victory?
Well, it definitely was possible if I just didn't bottle it myself a few laps earlier than him. Because I nearly half spun, but I corrected it, and then I lost like 2 seconds, and the gap was like 4 seconds then. And I still tried to catch him, and I think we were driving around the same lap times. And then I saw him crashing, and he was just too much in front of me, and then I unfortunately finished second, but it's better than all the races I have done this season in Formula 1, so I can't be not happy.
Okay. And talking about Formula One, I think last race in China was that your best finish this season? I believe it was.
I finished 5th, and I think I've once finished 6th. And I was battling several times for even higher places, but then I bottled and crashed out or something. So I think this is the best result of the season then, yeah.
And as you say, P5, previously you've been proving that you are a driver that occasionally can be battling for a victory or a podium. P5, it might seem like it's not good, but Ferrari are on the rise, it seems, in that Formula One series, comparing to the start of the season where, let's be honest, it was a tragic showing from the Italian team.
Yeah, true. It's not what we hoped for, but luckily Sandro got our first podium of the season, and hopefully we'll get some more afterwards, after the winter break.
Yeah, and I suppose your team, the team morale is still high in that team. We've seen you two guys working together for now almost 6 years. Ever since you were given that Ferrari seat after Max Schaffner, he shafted himself. Should we say that?
Yeah.
And you've never been in a different team. You've raced. I think you've never raced for any other team than Ferrari.
Well, probably the first race when Max was still driving in Canada.
It might be, yeah.
Yeah, I think maybe my first ever race I raced in an older car, but then I got the Ferrari seat, and since then I've never left it.
And I think that segues beautifully into what I'm going to talk about next, because you haven't driven for a different team for almost, 6 seasons. This year, on the other side of Christmas break, you are going to drive for a different team in the IMSA season.
Yeah, true.
And the Ford, an American team.
Exactly.
Do you look forward to it?
Joining your teammate, Reese.
Yeah. I don't know, you two guys, do you have any relationship going on, like a teammate relationship that you can work on, or is it just going to be like everyone for himself and we just race, or what is it going to be like?
Well, first of all, we have built some chemistry between us when we were doing our snow races before this one, and afterwards we've practiced already for this Rallycross race, and I hope we can build the same teamwork as I have with Sandro, and we will work for a great season in IMSA.
And the season of IMSA, let's talk about that. You have, currently there's only 2 other cars in your category, that is Corvette, but those cars are piloted by some very skilled drivers in Lance Lebron, who's going to take part in SRL for the first time like a full-time driver, and then Nick van Gelder, who is the reigning champion in Formula One.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you think you have what it takes to overcome those 2, or is it going to be too much, do you think?
Well, with a lot of practice and with a great teamwork with Reese, everything is possible. On this game I've also performed well on the Indy 500, and now also I did in the Snowball race, so why not am I not a contender for the IMSA championship in my own series?
Exactly. And we know you are in the GT class right now. Are you possibly eyeing a prototype drive? Because as we know, there is a Triple Crown also in SRL. Currently you hold one of those titles, that is the Indy 500. You still need the Monaco Grand Prix victory, and you also need the 24 Hours of Le Mans.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's unlikely that you're going to win the 24 Hours of Le Mans in a Ford. True. But is it possible that we are going to see you in a prototype car next season, possibly, in Season 6?
Well, everything is possible, and I think a prototype is a car I look forward to of racing, as I like fast cars, and like the Indy car and the Formula One car. They are really fast, and as you have said, the Triple Crown is one of the things I want to get, but it's really difficult when the SRL League of F1 is so competitive. At the moment, I don't see me winning the Monaco Grand Prix. But you never know. I will try to get next year or the year afterwards to get the win in Le Mans, and probably get another title in the Indy 500. You never know. So yeah.
And you, if I remember correctly, you were close in the last Indy 500, or maybe I messed that up. I don't know. But
well, I think I was half a second behind Vasilius who won, so that was really close.
So you were close to a second title in Indy 500.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else you want to expand on, or something you want to say?
Well, I look forward to another battle with Vasilius, and hopefully I get my title back.
Okay, so we're going to see if we can get some others to interview here, but we're going to be back quickly. So let's see. Let's take Funs. Let's do that.
Ja, de Indy 500 doen.
Funs.
Die gaat heel goed. Yes.
Interview time.
Okay.
Just really quick. You've come back from a reserve driver role. This is the first time we're seeing you this season in SRL. How is it to be back?
Yeah, it's great. I missed the racing, of course, and it was pretty good.
And I've already forgot where you finished, but
the first race 4th and the second race in 2nd.
Oh yeah, so you didn't make it through to the final.
No, that's a pity.
Do you like what you're seeing with SRL as it is right now?
Yeah, a lot of new drivers, a lot of new events, and I think it's a good way forward.
And are you possibly eyeing a comeback at some point?
Hopefully. I'm still not sure. Still have to get my things on the right way. I don't know. I guess you could say it like that. Hopefully, I will return.
Okay. And you are still sitting as a reserve driver for Mercedes, as far as I know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the case. Yeah.
Okay. And yeah, of course, now we have two very consistent drivers from Mercedes, Vasilios and Lewis. Do you ever think you're going to get back this season, or do you have to wait for another seat opening up, possibly, for next season?
I don't think this season. I think Lewis and Vasilios doing a great job, and they are a good duo. I don't think I could fill the shoes of Lewis or Vasilios. I don't know. I think I'm gonna hope for another seat opening up, but we have to wait and see, of course, what happens.
Yeah. Well, thank you for having the time, and I'm gonna leave you to what you were doing on Gran Turismo.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, you too. And we are quickly gonna try and see if we can get. There's a heavy demand for Robin Herstadhagen to have an interview, so let's see if he is up for the job. It is possible that he has left and logged off. It is. Let me see, Mr. Robin. Yeah, it seems like he has logged off. Unfortunately, there was heavy demand for an interview from the Norwegian driver, but I suppose we're gonna have to wait for another time. But we're gonna see if we can get an interview from the new guy, Luke. It doesn't seem like he is responding, but we'll see. Robin, are you there?
I'm here now.
Okie dokie. So, we had some heavy demands of an interview from you, it seems.
Yeah, sorry about that.
It doesn't matter. It's okay, though. It looked good at the beginning in the first heat that you took part in.
Yes.
you went through, I think, as the winner of that heat, so no problem there. What happened in the final? Can you talk us through it? Not the first one, because we saw you get flipped, but in the second final, like where we had to restart, unfortunately.
Yes.
So.
Well, I was really surprised I got flipped.
Yeah, I suppose.
That was really surprising.
Yeah. But did you enjoy it, at least? You were on home ground for the first time.
Yes.
So was it enjoyable to do rally for the first time in SRL? And would you do more of it if it ever came up again?
I gotta say, yeah. It's very fun to drive on my home soil, and it was very difficult to drive in the blizzard and for no traction control. But I managed to keep my throttle under control and braking.
What's up, Sam?
Hello. We are currently doing an interview, so I'm gonna mute you real quick. Come you back. But yeah. Let's talk about like the Formula 1 season so far. How do you think it's going, your season? Because it's been ups and downs. You have got points.
Wait a minute.
But there's also been some accidents even every now and then. But you have been very close to a podium a couple of times actually, with some good strategy. Is that going to continue for the rest of the season, and can we be lucky that you probably will get a podium at some point?
Yes, I have some different strategies in different races, but there are some tracks I really love, and I had some experience on these tracks for a very long time. I play Formula 1 since 2010 on Xbox 360. And I've driven in some of these tracks many times.
Yeah. And I suppose you are the Racing Point with the most points, ironically. Racing Point with points, but whatever. Brian has started to score points as well now. Do you think that Racing Point under you two can get even better in the future, or is it what it is right now, and do we have to wait for next season until we see the full potential of the Norwegian?
Well, I'm just thinking about driving for Racing Point, and Racing Point is a nice team, and they score some points in real life, and I really like driving in pink.
Yeah. And I suppose we should ask you this as well. Do you think you are obviously gonna race in Formula 1? Do you think we could potentially see you in other SRL series in the future, or is it just gonna be Formula 1 for now?
This is my first season, and so I don't have plans to drive for one season. So I'm gonna stick with the SRL for a while.
Yeah.
See what else I can do.
Okay.
And I'm also driving for a Norwegian league.
Ah, yes. So you're supporting the national leagues as well, I suppose, like most of our drivers are doing. Yeah. But I think that's really all we have to ask you, because you did a really good job today, but unfortunately it was your luck wasn't on your side today in the final. But
I'm very struggling to keep on the pace.
Yeah, and I suppose after Christmas we're gonna see you again. You've been on an upgoing form recently, and yeah, I don't think we should write you off for points in the future, obviously, but also podiums possibly if you keep up the good work. But I don't know what you think about that.
Yes, I just keep pushing to score some more points.
And unpopular demand, that was Robin Herstadhagen. Do you have anything you want to say to the people who requested an interview for you?
I just want to say thank you guys for to keep up the support and keep what you're doing.
And I suppose that's it. So thank you for the interview, and good luck for the future of SRL. And that's going to be the conclusion of 2019 for SRL. We are very happy that you guys tuned in today for this little fun event. If you're wondering about this live stream, it's going to get edited over the Christmas break, and then we're going to upload the edited version of this live stream, as there was some trouble or whatever, your technical difficulties throughout the evening. But we thank you for being positive, staying in the patience, and be supportive as you are always. But that's going to be all for 2019. It's been a real thriller, and I can't wait for next year, 2020, to wait and see what SRL has in store. And just to give you a heads up, Formula 1 is coming back to this channel. It is going to do that on the 4th of January, where Lance LeBron is going to take us through what is going to be a thrilling Grand Prix. IMSA, as we mentioned a couple of times, is also going to be a thing next season. We are not sure when it's going to take place, but it is for sure going to take place. So head over to our website. Link should be down in the description below. Otherwise, it's going to be when this video gets edited and goes live once again. But I've been Samuel Brandt. I've been your commentator for this little what do you want to say, this little fun event. I hope you enjoyed the racing as much as we did here at SRL. We wish you a very Merry Christmas and also a Happy New Year, and we'll see you in 2020 for not only Formula 1 but also IMSA. Goodbye.